I.I.M.U.N screams Indianness in every step it takes, be it simulating agendas that are relevant to India or sensitizing students across countries about Bharat by introducing them to yoga, Ayurveda, Indian traditional clothes, or serving them Indian food. As an organization, they may have hosted luminaries from all walks of life, but the ones that they revere the most remain those in uniform. These are the people who are the epitome of leadership. We are because they are. They gift us the freedom to go about our daily lives without any worry as they guard us at the border. When it comes to talking about what it means to be an Indian, there is nobody better than the Indian Armed Forces to speak about it. Also, I would like to thank the Chief on behalf of the I.I.M.U.N family for having spent his precious time and traveling all the way so far to come and speak to the students. We are truly honored. Thank you, sir. Wow. We have the distinct privilege of welcoming the Titan of Valor, a guardian of our nation's frontier, and a symbol of resilience. Please rise as we welcome on stage General Manoj Pande, Chief of the Army, Indian Army.
Shri Rishabh Shah, members of the core team of India's international movement to unite nations, dear students, ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning and Jai Hind to all of you. It is indeed a unique opportunity for me to address such a large group of bright young minds under one roof or in this huge ground. I must acknowledge the distinctly palpable energy and vibrancy in this ground, and I thank Sri Rishabh Shah for extending me this invite to speak and interact with the future torchbearers of our great nation. I understand Pariniti Chopra spoke to you in the first session, and it is a challenge to be talking or speaking after a Bollywood celebrity. But let me at the outset say that the endeavors of I.I.M.U.N towards fostering global citizenship and spreading the idea of India is not merely a concept, but a indeed laudable initiative for which I compliment the organization. It's a collective dream of 1.4 billion Indians, this idea of India that I just mentioned. We as a nation have envisioned and taken up the resolve to emerge as a developed nation when we celebrate our centenary milestone. And to realize this vision, the role of youth, I believe, is pivotal. Your goals, passion, ideas, entrepreneurship, determination, and your sacrifices are the elements that shall contribute to the aspirations of a rising India. In my talk today, I shall put forth some key takeaways or key waypoints on leadership from the perspective of a military leader. For a larger perspective of leadership, it is essential to understand that leadership is a universal concept. Leadership may mean different things to different people. Leaders emerge in all walks of life, be it the military, business, sports, politics, education, research, innovation, and many more. The practice of leadership is unique because the demands of duties of leadership vary according to the setting in which it is practiced. However, the fundamental principles that underpin effective leadership are strikingly similar across all domains and stand relevant for leaders in all walks of life. A question that is often asked is as to what is the difference between a manager and a leader. I would say managers are largely responsible for organizing, controlling resources, and ensuring that tasks are completed efficiently in compliance with established procedures. Leaders, on the other hand, are people-oriented. They define a vision and lead by example towards achieving set objectives while concurrently developing and empowering their teams. They are the catalysts for innovation and transformation. While leadership and management are distinct roles, they are not mutually exclusive. The most effective individuals in any organization often combine elements of both. General Colin Powell, former chairman and Joint Chiefs of Staff and the National Security Advisor and Secretary of State of the US, had this to say in differentiating between the two, and I think his statement is very profound. And I quote, "Leadership is the act of accomplishing more than the science of management says is possible," unquote. Leadership has been defined in a number of ways. The former US President, General Dwight Eisenhower, defined it as the art of getting someone else to do something you want done because he wants to do it, unquote. Another definition that has been put forth is that it is the art of influencing, enabling, and directing others to accomplish the mission professionally. Field Marshal Slim, who led the campaign to liberate Burma during World War II, articulated it as, and I quote, "Leadership is a mix of example, persuasion, and compulsion, which make men and women to do what you want them to do. It is the projection of personality, and it is the most intensely personal thing in the world because it is just plain you," unquote. In the professional of soldiering, it is just not a matter of planning and giving orders and expecting them to be obeyed. It is indeed a complex interplay of four pivotal attributes that define a military leader. These are character, conduct, competence, and commitment, the four C's. These in turn encompass many traits, qualities, and competencies, some of which I shall highlight during my talk. Character entails many virtues that a good human being must possess. In the context of a military leader, it forms the bedrock of all actions and decisions and the very fabric of the profession of arms. The important virtues of a soldier that character enwraps are integrity, honesty, loyalty, selflessness, moral courage, and fortitude. These serve as a guide to choose the harder right over the easier wrong and form the foundational blocks upon which the edifice of a leader is built. The essence of these words are enshrined on the walls of the Indian Military Academy at Dehradun in the form of Chetwood motto, which has been a guiding beacon for all officers of the Indian Army. It spells out the ethos of leadership and soldiering in its purest form. And it reads, and I quote, "The safety, honor, and welfare of your country come first, always and every time. The honor, welfare, and comfort of the men you command come next. Your own ease, comfort, and safety come last, always and every time." Unquote. The import of these words transcends into all spheres of life and serves as an enduring imperative for leader in any domain. As leaders of tomorrow, you will have the sacred responsibility to abide by an ethical benchmark, upholding a strong set of values must be reflected in your actions and decisions. There will be occasions when you would be faced to choose between doing the right thing or the winning thing. It is in these defining moments that your moral courage shall be put to test. The space that moral courage occupies in the character of a military leader has been aptly summed up by Field Marshal Manekshaw, who said, and I quote, "It is the ability to distinguish right from wrong, and having done so, be prepared to say no, irrespective of the view held by your superior or subordinates, and for the consequences to yourself." Unquote. I urge you to embrace character as your core attribute that shall, in turn, empower you to navigate challenges with resilience and honor. Conduct comes next. It embodies the very essence of a leader's actions in conformity to orders and instructions, a commitment of adherence to set of values, principles, rules, ethos, and an unwavering dedication to one's duty. A leader's conduct in all aspects, both professionally and in personal life, must always be above reproach. He or she ought to lead by personal example and be a role model to subordinates. A true leader does not demand respect through authority. Instead, he or she inspires and commands respect through the strength of character and impeccable conduct. I recall here the famous words of US General Douglas MacArthur, who said, and I quote, "A true leader has the confidence to stand alone, the courage to make tough decisions, and the compassion to listen to the needs of others. He does not set out to be a leader, but becomes one by the quality of his actions and the integrity of his intent." Unquote. Subsumed under the attribute of conduct are the qualities of self-discipline, accountability, teamwork, and empathy. Self-discipline instills a sense of responsibility, cultivates good habits, and drives consistent progress. During your academic pursuit years, it is self-discipline that shall shape your study ethics, time management, and perseverance. Therefore, embrace self-discipline not as a restriction, but as a guiding principle that will propel you towards success. Accountability involves taking ownership of one's actions, being fair and just, and acknowledging both successes and setbacks in equal measure. For you all as students, accountability can mean meeting deadlines, delivering quality work, and being responsible for individual and group commitments. Being accountable helps cultivate trust, respect, and reliability, which in turn lays the foundation for collective success. In every facet of life, the significance of teamwork cannot be overstated. Remember, leadership is not a solitary pursuit. Instead, it is a journey undertaken with others. In this journey, interacting with peers who have diverse skill sets and experiences is an opportunity for each one of you to imbibe the best. Nurture the ability to blend into a team, align to team goals, and contribute your best. A leader gives precedence to team success over individual achievements. He or she lays the groundwork for the other's success and then stands back, letting the team members shine. Nelson Mandela said, and I quote, "A leader is like a shepherd. He or she stays behind the flock, letting the most nimble go out ahead, whereupon the others follow, not realizing that all along they are being directed from behind." Unquote. Next is empathy, which is about understanding and inspiring people. It is the ability to put yourself in somebody else's shoes, to see the world from their perspective, and to connect with their emotions and experiences. True leadership is about leading people with compassion and care. You need to be a good listener and foster an environment of honest communication. Remember, a leader must be approachable and respected, not feared. Competence is the next attribute. A competent leader is someone who possesses the knowledge, skills, and abilities necessary to excel in one's role and inspire others. It is also about continuously learning, adapting, evolving, and acknowledging that there is always more to learn and discover. US General James Mattis, who has had the immense military leadership and experience in combat, said, and I quote, "If you haven't read 100 books, learning from others who went before you, you are functionally illiterate. You cannot coach and you cannot lead." Unquote. This imperative stands applicable to all fields. Therefore, make a commitment to lifelong learning and the quest for excellence, an enduring one. The next aspect is decision making. The ability to take sound and timely decisions is important for a leader in any domain. For a leader in uniform, the environment under which decisions need to be made are very different, characterized by the fog of war, time criticality, and consequences that could even result in failure of the mission and loss of life of fellow soldiers. In whichever field it be, decisions ought to be taken in a timely manner, for delays can lead to missed opportunities. It is better to take a certain amount of risk and take a decision to face the challenges head on rather than remaining in a state of indecisiveness. The debate between an experience driven gut instinct decision making versus information analysis based objective decision making shall always remain. Remember, effective decision making often involves a combination of both approaches, with the professional competence of the leader remaining constant. Also, in the domain of competency, are physical fitness and mental robustness, which are inescapable prerequisites in the Army to meet the challenging demands and difficult conditions that we operate in. To remain operationally prepared and maintain high alertness levels in the close proximity of the enemy while enduring difficult terrain and extreme weather conditions mandate physical fitness, mental robustness, and resilience on part of every soldier. These are more important for a leader to set a personal example, inspire his team, and perform under stress and pressure. These qualities, I believe, are essential not only for soldiers but for every individual striving to succeed. Remember, a healthy body supports a healthy mind. So make sports and other outdoor activities an inclusive part of your regime in the years ahead. The qualities one imbibes on the playing field are invaluable, be it goal setting, focus, teamwork, and leadership. Commitment is the fourth pivotal attribute that I wish to flag today. Commitment to a leader is akin to an oath that binds him to his sacred role as a leader. It is a resolve, an obligation, and a pledge towards the country, organization, subordinates, and the mission itself. In the Army, we take great pride in adhering to the core ethos of Naam, Namak, or Nishan. Naam embodies collective identity, reputation, and honor of the unit or regiment that you belong to. Namak, the loyalty and indebtedness to the organization, and Nishan is to do with the respect for the ensign, color, or flag that inspires pride and motivation. The essence of this is what sets the profession of soldiering apart from other disciplines. Putting service before self and an unwavering commitment to preserve the honor and pride of the tricolor is what drives an Indian Army soldier to endure the rigors of life and even make the supreme sacrifice in service of the nation when required. The famous words of late Captain Vikram Batra, Ye Dil Mange More, during the Kargil War, encapsulate his aspiration for more opportunities, a desire to succeed, the courage to seek combat, and the spirit to conquer challenges. These qualities form the bedrock of commitment in a soldier. A brave soldier in true spirit he was, and he made the supreme sacrifice in service of the nation on point 4875 during the Kargil War. His words resonate beyond the battlefield as a beacon to stretch oneself beyond one's limits. This innate drive to push boundaries and to overcome obstacles is what sets leaders apart. In doing so, they also inspire others. Take the example of Subedar Neeraj Chopra, a proud soldier who has brought glory to the nation by his achievements in the field of javelin. He has won medals for the country in various competitions, including the coveted Olympic gold medal. He did not achieve his feat overnight. He had a set of goal for himself and backed it up with years of hard work. Challenges will put your commitment to test. Many attacks or assaults in the Kargil war failed due to intense fire from the enemy side, who was firmly entrenched on the icy peaks. The difficulties stood enhanced due to the terrain and ground conditions and an uphill assault. But our brave soldiers relentlessly pushed on till success was achieved. Adversity in the form of setback and failures are part of the game. They need to be seen not as unsurmountable barriers, but as stepping stones to success. Each fall provides an opportunity to learn, adapt, and grow. Let each failure not only strengthen your resolve to succeed. Here I recall the words of Nelson Mandela again, who said, and I quote, "The greatest glory in living lies not in never failing, but in rising every time we fall," unquote. Remember, remember when the going gets tough, the tough get going. So never give up, harness your inner strength, demonstrate resilience, and be driven by a never say die attitude, and you shall overcome life's toughest challenges and moments. Another takeaway for you from the life of soldiers is that the men and women in olive greens share a strong bond amongst themselves. This bond is forged by blood and sweat in the crucible of shared challenges, sacrifices, and victories. Inclusive to this bond are the elements of camaraderie and esprit de corps. Camaraderie binds each soldier with a collective sense of belonging to the team, and esprit de corps embodies the collective pride, morale, and solidarity of the team. This cohesion is cherished and lasts a lifetime. Similarly, I would urge you to develop lasting friendships. Friendships are the cornerstone of a rich and fulfilling life. They offer support, companionship, and a sense of belonging. Concurrently, invest in lifelong relationships that encompass your family, colleagues, and mentors. You will find that these linkages will stand the test of time and help in guiding and supporting you through difficult stages in life. As young citizen, and even as you grow into young men and women, remember tolerance is the cornerstone of a harmonious society. Learn to acknowledge and accept differing perception and points of views. Respect for all religions is fundamental to the idea of India, and that is the principle that you must live by. Remember, the love for the country is not merely a feeling, it is an unwavering commitment, a sense of devotion, and an undying passion for the land that has nurtured us. So honor the country's legacy and uphold the values that make us proud Indians. In the years ahead, progression of technology across multiple domains, be it artificial intelligence, quantum communication, advancements in other fields such as space and transformation innovation, shall significantly impact all spheres of activity. AI tools may replace some of the decision-making functions and refine processes. While these developments shall certainly augment our capabilities, yet the human element at the core of leadership shall remain irreplaceable. The human values, emotional intelligence, and the ability to inspire and motivate others shall continue to keep the human aspect in leadership indispensable. It will be the human contribution that shall always remain critical to achieving outcomes. Lastly, I would like to remind you that we are a nation of over 800 million youth, and each one of you represents an important component of this precious national asset. No matter what your field of expertise is in the years ahead, each one of you holds potential to transform many lives. A large number of opportunities await motivated, bright young people like you who shoot for the stars and are ready to seize new opportunities. So march ahead with confidence to become good citizens, pursue your dream, and go on to contribute in your own special way to the aspirations of an emerging India. If you wish to serve the nation by joining the Indian Army, I would say it is a great career option. You will get to serve far and wide in this wonderful country of ours and abroad too. You will get to see combat, experience adventure, save lives, and above all, you traverse the sacred journey of serving the motherland. The army way of life is an enjoyable and fulfilling journey, driven by values, embracing challenges, and emerging victorious through perseverance. The secular fabric and respect for all religions and beliefs amongst our ranks is an integral part of our identity. So to get to experience the pride of donning the olive greens and living by the values of loyalty, dedication, courage, and sacrifice. I wish you all a life brimming with boundless happiness, enthusiasm, and achievements. Thank you and Jai Hind.